I really going to be taking a look at this new hunter build, the Shadow Hunter. Let's get straight into it. So here's a little overview of the gear I'm using, but I'm going to jump straight into the technique points, I think. So we got stagger and arrow, so this is just for a bit of defense when you're on the points. You can stagger the enemies and then get off some of your headshots. So the main point of this build is Scent of Blood, which is increased draw and reload speed by 100% for 30 seconds after attempting assassination. So this is going to be our main way of getting our ultimate back, and we want to be basically using this technique to spam the headshots as fast as possible and getting that resolve gain and getting our ultimate off. And then obviously status effect, damage increased by 25%. I just don't see the point in using any of the other two, so I went for this one. And then we've got body shots, have a 50% chance to deal headshot damage, which is just key for keeping your ammo up and also helping that resolve and putting out as much damage as possible as well. Let's jump into the gear. We've got the water katana again, melee damage, ultimate damage and watermaster. You could use melee resolve gain if you want to, but I just prefer melee damage for when I have to get into combat. With the katana, ultimate damage because ultimate is going to be our main way of killing people. And then watermaster, so our surgeon strikes when you hold triangle and then tap triangle, it's just going to put out a bit more damage. And then we've got the skip and stone bow, so let's take a quick look at the legendary perk. So headshots ricochet to a nearby enemy. So this is really important, 1 for our resolve gain, 2 for our damage. We are obviously got that technique point, so body shots have a 50% chance to be a headshot. So if we do proc that technique point, then this is going to ricochet onto nearby enemies again. Range resolve gain, you can go for headshot damage if you want to. I just prefer range resolve gain just to get that ultimate back just a little bit quicker. But if you want to go headshot damage, by all means go for it. Range damage, once again, you can substitute this out for headshot damage if you want to use the resolve gain. So I just went for range damage, just an increase on damage from range weapons overall. And then headshot refund, so this is just going to make sure we have enough ammo all the time. And also when we proc the 50% chance to get a headshot from a body shot, this is going to give us an arrow back once more. We got the hunter charm, so headshot damage, ultimate damage and foul arrows. I did play around with headshot damage and range damage, but I feel like the ultimate damage was just putting out a little bit more DPS for me. Once again, you can substitute this out for range damage, or even if you wanted to, range resolve gain, just so you get the ultimate back even quicker. And then I'm using foul arrows just to apply weaken to the targets. This is really important, so you're doing 25% more damage and you're also taking 25% less damage. So this is important because when you are getting those headshots and it's ricocheting around to all the nearby enemies, etc., they're all going to be weakened. So when you do use your ultimate, ultimate's going to do 25% more damage as well. Alright, and then this one, ghost weapon, you can use any kind of ghost weapon you want for this one. I've been testing out the kunai. I like the kunai because we've got the melee damage on there. You could go for status effect duration on this perk as well, so your stagger and arrow just lasts a bit longer if you need a bit more defensive traits on this one. I just went for damage increase, because you know, it just takes out enemies that little bit quicker. You can sometimes get a cheeky little kill if they're low enough health. And then supermassive, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend any of the other ones for this build particularly. It just depends. You kind of have the option to go for anything you want in this one. Sticky bomb's quite good. If I was going to go sticky bomb, I think I'd go with got too many. Yeah, damage increase, blast radius and increased radius. If there's a lot of enemies, whoa, my voice. If there's a lot of enemies on the point, there, chuck the sticky bomb on and this is just going to take out a bunch of them. But as I say, I went for kunai. I just found that when enemies were getting close and in my proximity, especially the onis, I just chuck a cheeky little kunai, you know, stagger them off. They're not going to be able to put their attack out, get a few hits in with the water katana. And I've also got the melee damage on there once again, so when I do have to get into katana kind of fights, I've just got even more damage coming out from this. So we basically got plus 20%, 19.4% extra damage from the melee attacks. And then the most important ghost weapon of all is the smoke bomb. So why is this important? We want to be using the smoke bomb and then getting a critical strike or assassination, so we proc this technique point to increase our draw and reload speed by 100%. And when we do that, we are going to stay hidden in the smoke bomb and just put out as many headshots as you can. Doesn't matter if you hit them in the head or the body. This is going to be our main way of gaining resolve and being defensive. They're not going to attack us. We've got cooldown reduction and cooldown reduction on kill, just because I want to be getting this smoke bomb back as much as possible. I'm not doing enough stealth attack damage to kill people, so you can put stealth attack damage on if you want to. You might be able to take out some enemies just a little bit quicker. The assassination animation is faster if you actually assassinate them rather than critical striking. So this could be important if that's what you're into, but I'm just going for the cooldowns. And then I'm using munitions. The reason I'm using this is for team survivability. You're going to be playing with the Ronin most likely, who's using a bomb pack, and this is just going to help out the Ronin so much more for getting his resolve back. And there's also just a nice little way to get a few arrows back as well. If you use the flaming arrows for the bonus objective of fire damage, you know, this might drop 3 fire arrows, which could, you know, result in you completing the bonus objective or not. And if you want to go something else, I'd recommend sudden resolve. So you want to use your ultimate. If you have it ready, use it, and then smoke bomb, and you've already got a resolve point back already. You only need to fill up 2 more to get your ultimate back after you get the critical strike on an enemy. So yeah, it's a pretty fun build. It's very kind of sneaky. You want to be making sure you're able to get the critical strike or assassination. That's kind of the main point of this build. And yeah, it does a lot of damage. Got the weakened enemies on, got a bunch of ultimate damage, nice bit of melee damage. It's kind of an all-rounder. But yeah, as I say, the main point to this is just making sure you can proc this technique point. But yeah, there we go. So let me know if you use this build. Let me know if you've got any suggestions for improvements. I did see someone comment on a YouTube video of a very similar build where they were using range damage and headshot damage on both the bow and the charm. Thank you very much for showing me that, by the way. I really appreciate that. But this is my take on this kind of build. Yeah, it's all about being sneaky and in the shadows or in the smoke bomb. I've kind of got the white appearance, white armor and stuff on. I don't know, I thought it'd be quite cool for kind of sneaking around in the smoke bomb, you know, we're a bit more camouflaged and with all the white. I thought it was quite cool. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this build and let me know if you try it out. Thank you very much for watching.